Hi, welcome to Weekend Box Office Predictions and Movie Review. Today is Monday, May 16th, 2016. My name is Craig, and I am your host. Hey, I'm going to give you the actual numbers from this past weekend's box office that just came in. Also, see how I did in my segment of Beat the Expert. And also give you some movie news on a couple arcade classics and Batman vs. Superman. Hey, new movies from this past weekend was first was Money Monster. This movie had a monster weekend, and it made lots of money, so the name fit really well. They were only estimating, from what I was seeing, was 8 to 10 million, and it came in at 14.8 million. I had made a prediction of 10.5 million on this movie, so a little bit off, but yet I was one of the higher experts on this movie, so I was real happy about that. Brian had made a prediction of 8.1 million for this movie, so thanks for that prediction. Next is the movie The Darkness. This movie just fell flat. It actually made 5 million. I made a prediction of 6.4 million. One thing I didn't see on this movie until later on was they actually spot picked where this movie was going to play. So they were trying to make as much money as possible, but yet limit where it was going to be a bust at other theaters. So it still did play in 1,700 theaters. So, but they were trying to maximize the amount of money that they were going to make. So. If I'd known that, I might have adjusted my numbers a little bit, but, you know, hey, that's part of the game. So, hey, holdovers, number one, again, for the second week is Captain America Civil War. It came in at 72.6 million. I had made a prediction of 80.6 million, so not too bad. This movie's still performing just a touch under what the normal numbers do, but still it's having, a heck of a ride already. It only had a 60% drop this past weekend, and already it is at 943 million worldwide. So, it's probably going to be finishing up, 1.4, 1.5 billion, which is just unbelievable for these movies. So, Brian had made a prediction of 77 million for this movie, so thanks for that as well. Next is The Jungle Book. Another great weekend for The Jungle Book. I think it only dropped 12% overall. Came in at 17.1 million. I made a prediction of 15.9 million, so I had a great, just a little bit over a million off, so I had a great prediction on that movie. Overall, it is at 311 million US and at 828 million worldwide, so it will be approaching the $1 billion mark probably in the next week or two, so it continues to perform very well. Next was the movie's Mother's Day, and everybody forgot about it once again. They didn't show up the first week. They showed up on Mother's Day. They didn't show up this past weekend to see it. Came in at 3.3 million, 70% drop. I had made an estimate of 7 million on this movie, and it just crushed my numbers. I was really hoping that it would have gained some momentum based on how well it did over Mother's Day weekend. People go, hey, I'll go ahead and check it out after all for this third weekend it was out, but they didn't. So next is Zootopia. Another great weekend at 2.8 million. I made a prediction of 2.3 million, so just 500,000 off. Next is The Huntsman, sitting at 154 million worldwide now. It made 2.6 million. I had made a prediction of 2.2, so I wasn't too much off there. Next was the movie Keanu. It had a 40% drop and came in at 1.9 million for the weekend. I had made a prediction of 1.5. Next is Barbershop. It is now sitting at 51 million for US, and it had a 40% drop this past weekend at 1.7 million. I made a prediction of 1.4. And last is The Boss, rounding out the top 10. It came in at 1.2 million. I was just barely off at 1.1 million. So overall for the week, like I said, the one movie hurt me. I actually finished in last this week, which really just disappointed me. But I still had a decent week overall at 79.5%. Third place was Box Office Mojo at 79.8%. Box Office Pro was at 80%, and Box Office Profits, which typically finishes last every week, was in first this week, so kudos to them, 83.9%. Overall, though, Box Office Pro is still in first at 81.74. I'm in second place at 81.64, so only a tenth of a percent. I'm still hanging in there real close. Third place is Box Office Mojo at 78.6%. And Box Office Profits is in last place at 75%. Hey, some movie news. Cinema Blend actually recently reported that Batman vs. Superman, there was a release date given from Amazon Italy of July 15th of this year. and it's supposed to be an ultimate edition with the theatrical cut at 3 hours, and also the movie, the actual, I'm sorry, the theater and then the extended edition. Excuse me there. So you're supposed to get both versions plus the DVD and some other kudos or some other extras and all that. So, but they are reporting of a July 15th date. So I thought I'd throw that out there at you. Also, 2 classic arcade games, Centipede and Missile Command, are in the works to be a movie. Missile Command has been in the works first, and now Centipede, it is being thrown around. So, you grew up on these games. It's going to be kind of interesting to see how they're going to make these. Obviously, we had Pixels that came out last year, so maybe they're going to try to build on that in some form or fashion. Hard to say. Haven't found any other news on these, but I will be researching these as the weeks go forward to see what I can find out about them. So, hey, that's it for today's show. Thanks for tuning in. Greatly appreciate it. I'll be back on Friday to give you my predictions for this next weekend. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I'm real close to my 25 subscribers or Memorial Day weekend, which is only, it's roughly a week and a half away at this point. So giving you predictions you can count on, and they're better than the weatherman. Take care.